It's gone by quick.
Yeah, it has.
I mean, like this time 4 years ago, I was sitting in here doing that candidate forum. I think that was probably the first time I did anything in like the media or the press for as far as running and everything. And I look back at that because the candidate forum's coming up next week, and I've watched some of those old videos, wow, what did you say back then, and what did you actually accomplish? But I think I did okay. Yeah.
Well, let's go back real quick before we get into the talking points. What made you run initially?
Born and raised in Clinton, obviously, I was trying to find a way to get involved. And a couple people kind of approached me and were like, you should run for mayor. And I was like, I was thinking more like a committee or something, to kind of ease my way in. And the more I learned about the mayor role, the more I felt like the skill set that I have, I could be successful doing that. But ultimately, what made me run is I felt like there was like this negative energy following Clinton. Anywhere I went and anybody I talked to, and that's not how I remember Clinton growing up. That's not how I want Clinton to be perceived, and that's not how I want Clinton to be when my kids grow up. So really, that was the driving force. And I know that kind of sounds naive, but that truly was what it was. Is I wanted to bring some positivity to our community, and I thought that there was ways that we could do that with positive attitude and being involved and getting your face out there. And then I love advocating for Clinton at the state and federal level too, and talking us up. So those things are really the driving force. But I wanted to be part of that positive change. I didn't want to just complain or talk about it. I wanted to be a driver of that change.
Well, that is good to hear. Last evening I did my coach's show at Rustrelli's, and one of the final guests was a Clinton High student, Marcus Steen, and he basically said the same thing. He's proud of Clinton, and he wants to help the city grow.
Yeah, Marcus is a rock star. I used to work for his dad at Clinton Junior Baseball when I was 14, 15, for a while there, which was cool. So I knew Marcus when he was just a little tyke, and now he's taller and bigger than me, which is fine. But
he's a lineman.
Yeah,
both sides of the ball.
But he's awesome. He's a great ambassador for Clinton. He's a great young mind, and hopefully we can capture him and keep him here after he does his further education or whatever he chooses to do after high school. Hopefully we can retain him because he's definitely one of those people we don't want to lose to another community.
Again, visiting with Scott Maddasion, supportive housing. Let's get started with that.
Yeah, so a month ago or so, we had the vote for the supportive housing that was going to be down by the Law Center. That vote was 3-3 on the council with one abstaining, so that rezoning of that property failed. So we have been kind of at a scramble to find another location. Long story on where sites can be, but ultimately Census Tract 1 is where it can be, and it's a really funky map. And it can't just be everywhere like some people think. And there was about 18 sites that we've looked at. There's not a lot of options in Census Tract 1, but we have till November 30th. And if we don't get a site, we're going to lose the $4.4 million grant that the YWCA was awarded from the Iowa Finance Authority for supportive housing. So we're looking at DeWitt Park. I know it's currently a park. It's 60,000 square foot. About 40,000 of that would go to the supportive housing. The other 20,000 would remain a park, and we would do some improvements to that, maybe some swings or some equipment or something of that nature to kind of make it inviting, not only for the new folks that would be in the supportive housing area, but the ones that live in that neighborhood as well.
Okay, and that again is between 6th Avenue and 7th Avenue South in that
Correct.
area, right? Okay.
Yep.
All right. Lafayette Lofts.
The city has signed a development agreement with Bush Construction, who's acquiring the Lafayette Hotel building, and they're going to refurbish that into 65 units. There's some grants and tax credits and things like that they need to apply for, so it's not necessarily going to start tomorrow. We'll see it in the near future here based on those timelines, but it's really cool that we're going to have somebody that is kind of kicking that off and going to restore that to it won't be as glory as a hotel, but it will be the original glory because it'll be refurbished with the historic stuff in mind.
And I can recall when you were in last time, you said that the building itself is actually not in too bad a shape.
No, it's not. I mean, if you go through it, the walls seem pretty solid, and I mean the outside looks good. There's not bricks falling off it and everything, and just needs some TLC. It needs cleaned up a little bit, and some floors and some paint and some repairs here and there. But they're obviously going to be some redesigning a little bit, because it won't be hotel rooms you're designing for. It'll be apartment units, which I think is going to be really cool. I think it's nice that I don't want to have to tear that building down. I don't think anybody does, and it'll be good to see that one kind of come back and people coming in and out of it.
Yeah, and you mentioned Bush. Now, they've done projects in town here. Do they work with other communities as well that you know of?
Oh yeah, they're big dogs.
Okay.
They're all over the place. I know they do a lot of stuff in the Quad Cities, and I'm sure they expand out further from there. But you'll see their signs all over the place. It's I think McCarthy Bush is who owns them, which is the parent company of Clinton Engineering and all of that good stuff. I think there's a family tie in there with all of them.
Okay, facade is finished or getting finished.
Yeah, so we had the facade grant, and we're finally getting wrapped up with that. And look for the city press release next week. There's going to be some ribbon cuttings for those buildings to celebrate the completion of the facades. There's some on Fifth Avenue South. Restrelli's up in Lyons got some work done, and then the Free Spirit Yoga down there would be is that 6th?
Yeah, I think that is 6th Avenue
6th,
South.
yeah. On that street there. So
Right.
right next to Lafayette Lofts, actually.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
So that one got redone as well. So really cool project that was a part of like COVID dollars through the state. Very lucky to get all these businesses on tap there, and being able to kind of spruce up the outsides and really reshape the identity of their business and help the downtown landscape as well.
The downtown is never going to be like it was when I was growing up back in the 60s and 70s, but it's good to see some development, some improvement taking place downtown.
Yeah, downtowns are tough. Like, you think that you can just get people down there and kind of revitalize it, but it's very difficult, because the way we consume goods and the way we do things is much different than when the 60s, right? With Amazon and online and the internet and all that stuff, it's a lot different. So we just have to continue to be creative. We're really trying to focus on housing in the downtown, because housing, if people are down there, then there's more things that are needed, right? So hopefully if we can continue to push that, we'll see maybe some more shops come up or something of that nature.
Again, FYI, visiting with Scott Maddasion, Clinton Mayor. Before we get to the break for the weather, we got a couple of downtown grants that you're applying for?
Yeah, we just had them on the committee of the whole on Tuesday of this week. There's two downtown grants that were supported by the SMID, and the city council is going to move those forward. One for the Ankeny building on the corner of 2nd and 5th there, and then the other one is the old computer box building. I don't know exactly what the address of that is, but it's I think it's on the 200 block there of 5th Avenue South. So 2 different grants that we've worked on through the state that we're going to apply for to hopefully get those buildings some grant money and rehab them as well. The one for the one on the old computer box building, that is similar to the grant that we used. It's on 2nd Street, right next to where the old Co-op Records is. That building got redone, so a similar grant to that. And then the other one is something that we've never applied for, at least since I've been around.
Grants intrigue me. I mean, applying for grants, there are grants that are out there. How much of a role do you play? Is that pretty much Matt's responsibility? How does that play out, Scott?
Yeah, the staff does a lot of the legwork on the grant side of things. The council is the one that would actually approve, because a lot of these require like a city sponsorship or even sometimes a city match. So if there's a matching dollars that are involved, then the city council would have to say, yeah, we're willing to be 10% of that match or whatever the grant is. So there's a lot of different moving parts involved. I've always said that if there's a grant out there that someone needs us to sponsor, I'm more than happy to sign anything to sponsor a grant application for somebody. Now, if there's matching dollars, we got to, kind of work our way through that and everything. But if it's in the budget, the while ago, the Victory Center got $50,000 to do some rehab stuff, and we sponsored that. There wasn't a match at all. We just had to be the facilitator of that grant. So there's a lot of things out there like that for different organizations that if you find something, come ask us. I'm never going to tell no, we can't we can't sponsor that grant. Now the dollar side, like I mentioned, if it's not in the budget, that could be a little different. But yeah, so I encourage everybody to look for those grant opportunities, because if you can, we all pay taxes to the state and federal government. If we can bring some of that money back to Clinton in the form of a grant, why would we not, right?
Yeah, very interesting. Check of the weather now, brought to you by Van's Carpet Corner.
An active pattern continues today with periods of showers and thunderstorms at times. There will be some heavy rainfall, too, along with dry hours, too, occasionally. We'll see highs near 75. Mainly dry skies for much of the evening and overnight, but storms return late. We'll see lows drop to 59. With your WQAD Storm Track 8 forecast, I'm meteorologist Andrew Stutzky.
Overcast skies, 54 degrees, east winds up around 15. Our update brought to you by Van's Carpet Corner.
The crisp days of fall are upon us, and Van's Carpet Corner in Fulton invites you in to harvest these incredible deals. New rolls of multicolored carpeting starting at just $2.45 a square foot with pad. 4 colors of luxury vinyl plank are priced at just $3.19 a square foot until gone. Carpet and vinyl remnants for as low as 99 cents a square foot, material only. And get closeout prices on all in-stock vinyl plank. Harvest these deals today at Van's Carpet Corner, 1430 10th Avenue in Fulton. Phone 815-208-7020.
FYI for Thursday, second Thursday, so we get a chance to visit with Scott Maddasion and Clinton Mayor. Got a downtown cleanup planned?
Yeah, so I wanted to put this on there. I don't have a ton of information on it, but I know there was a meeting last night. I was actually in a different meeting that so I couldn't go to this one, but there was a meeting last night that was talking about the plan for the cleanup on South 4th Street where the buildings were taken down. But in a nutshell, what's going to happen is, we got the $500,000 from the from the EPA. So you should see, we're going to have bids going out soon to take down that other building and then kind of remediate all that other stuff that's covered in plastic right now. So it's coming. We're just trying to make sure we go through the competitive bidding process because of the cost of the project, and we want to make sure that we're getting the best number. So we're being competitive on that front.
Any idea, or what would you like to see in that area once it's all down? Like a green space, or what would you like to see?
Well, it's kind of like the hot corner. It's like you have a lot of traffic coming through there. I would be concerned a little bit about the access, because if you're coming on Liberty Avenue, it would be really difficult to get into there if it was a business. Now, we don't own the whole block. There's a couple private owners on there, so we can't necessarily control the whole corner on what we want there. But I would love to see something developed there. It's nice to not have the dilapidated buildings there, and it looks really cool because it's wide open there. But it's a very good spot. We had a couple of renderings of some little like commercial unit type things that could go there, but nothing's kind of really stuck so far. It's kind of a narrow lot too, so you'd have to be really creative on how you have access there.
All right, very good. Solar discussions.
So it was brought to us, and we had a long discussion at this council meeting and the one before it about community scale and larger scale solar farms in the city of Clinton, because we do have a lot of ag land, but it's zoned residential, so it would cause an ordinance change. And just want people to be aware of the solar discussions that are happening. It's going to be on the meeting again on the 24th for the committee of the whole. So if people have thoughts, concerns, suggestions, whatever, I think you should come to the meeting or reach out to myself or a council member. I'm not necessarily in love with the idea of having a big solar farm somewhere in town. I think that's more of a industrial park type thing. I don't want to see it in town here, but I could be convinced otherwise if people have other information. So just want the citizens to know that those discussions are happening. We're also changing the ordinance to make it a little more, I guess, user-friendly for people that want solar on their homes, or a couple small little pillars in their backyard or something like that. So we understand that solar is a big thing right now. Karen told us the other day she's doing about 2 or 3 solar permits a week, basically, for people that want to put it on their house. So we just want to make sure that we're allowing that, and we have a plan in place so that folks can do that if they want to. But then also that big solar field kind of idea has been coming up as well, and that's a tough one.
What, west end, north end, what part, south end, where would that be?
Well, I don't know. I mean, It could be on the west end, but to me, and like I said in the meeting the other night, I'm willing to gamble that we're going to have development, and I don't want to put a solar farm in and deter some sort of development, right? I know I don't want to make decisions, or we don't want to make decisions on what could happen, right? Because you don't know what's going to happen. So if you have an opportunity, you should probably seize it if it's a good opportunity. But in this instance, I'm going to go against that and say that I'm going to roll the dice, and I'd rather see housing development or commercial development or something happen before I would want to drive past the solar field. But that's just me. I'm not against green energy. Those things are kind of ugly.
Yeah, visiting with Scott Maddasion. Election, we got a candidate forum coming up October 18th. Of course, you're running unopposed.
Yeah.
So are you going to still be a part of the forum, or how's that work?
Yeah, I will be.
Okay.
I'm gonna debate myself, and I'll be there. I'll do probably like a 3-minute little kind of spiel. They asked me if I'd be willing to do something like that. So I'd just like to talk a little bit about kind of what's happened over the last 4 years and what I guess my vision is and what I'd like to kind of tackle in the next 4 years. So it should be good. We got 2 contested races in the at-large seats. It's kind of weird because we have 5 seats up. Normally it's only 4 and 4. You should be 3 council members and myself right now, but we have that additional one because, Nancy Witt passed away and Pat Detterman got appointed to that seat. So you get appointed till the next city election, and that's why his seat is up there too. So we actually have 2 at-larges, 4th Ward, 2nd Ward, and then myself. And 2nd and 4th Ward and myself do not have any opponents. So.
Okay. So they currently are the 2nd and 4th Ward council persons?
Yep.
I mean, who are they?
Cody Seeley is the 2nd Ward, and Rhonda Kearns is 4th Ward.
Okay.
And they're both running again unopposed as well.
Okay. Candidate forum, October 18th. How can people access that?
It'll be at City Hall. I think it starts at 6 or 7. I'd have to look at that for sure. I should have wrote that down. But it'll be live streamed on YouTube as well, just like our council meetings are. Okay. So you can watch it on YouTube there. You can come to City Hall and be there in person. And they'll have a moderator. The Grow Clinton is the one that kind of tackles this and kind of puts it on the Government Affairs Committee. So they'll be asking questions to the folks that are kind of running with an opponent, and we'll get a chance to listen to them and get to know them. And I'm sure there'll be other media that does forums and questionnaires and things like that for you to kind of get educated on the candidates.
Well, we don't have Dave Vickers here anymore, so that kind of...
Well, you're going to have to do it.
Well, yeah, right. Let's, again, visit with Scott Maddasion. We're going to wrap things up with you. Always like to talk about tailgate and tall boys. I see Jelly Roll's coming back.
Jelly Roll is coming back. That was a long discussion between us to try to figure out what we wanted to do, and I guess some people would say we don't want someone to come back. We just saw him. We want different people. But we thought Jelly Roll was a unique situation just with how fast he's risen to stardom and what he has going on right now. I mean, he's nominated for 6 Grammys. I think that just came out the other day. So he's kind of a unique situation, and we felt like bringing him back would be just a good treat. He's supposed to hopefully have new music out even before next year, which is exciting. I don't know what that is, but so that was kind of the thought process behind that. And, people loved him last year. He was a fan favorite, and I think 2 years in a row for someone at that caliber that kind of crosses genres. Is not just one thing. He's kind of rapping, he's singing, he's doing rock, he's doing the country thing, he's doing everything. So that kind of played into it as well.
Now, is the full lineup out there, or when will that take place?
Just the headliners.
Okay.
So Thursday night is Jelly Roll. Friday night is Bailey Zimmerman, who just had his 3rd #1 in a row and is probably going to have more than that before next year. And then Saturday, we have Shinedown, which is purely rock. They are not country at all. And we took that feedback from the community. It's a country festival. Right. The community really wanted some rock and roll built in there, and I think that's probably our blue-collar roots here. We like that rock and roll. So Josh and I took that to heart, and we really kind of stressed with USA Concerts, like, if we can do something that's rock-oriented, we would really like to do that. And it took some convincing and some sweet talking, and then we threw a bunch of names around there, and this one kind of landed, and we felt like people like Shinedown. They put on a great show, and it'll be exciting to have them in the lineup. And it actually took a lot to convince Shinedown to come to a country festival as well. But they're going to give it a shot, and I think it'll play out really good for everybody.
Yeah, so, and that'll be on Saturday.
That'll be Saturday night. So
okay.
they're gonna kind of finish the whole festival. So
now exactly how many acts will there be? I know they've got
There'll be 4 main stage acts every day.
Okay.
Yep. So we probably have Saturday. We still have we have a couple that we need to work on. Friday is booked up. We should be good there. We're just waiting on final confirmations. Hopefully people will enjoy a little surprise on Friday right before Bailey Zimmerman. If we can get this group to lock in, I think that'll excite people as well. And then Thursday, we've got 2 more slots to fill as well. We have the direct support to Jelly Roll, and then we have the 2 undercards that we got to kind of work on. So that stuff all should be announced November.
Okay.
Probably right at the beginning of November. They really wanted to get the headliners out right away. And they did the same thing with Bloomington. They're not finished with their undercards in Bloomington, but they announced their headliners because we just wanted to create some buzz and and kind of keep it in people's mind.
So now, when you really start promoting this, are you going to wait until after the holidays, get into the first of the year, or no?
No. Marketing's going to hit heavy before that. The best thing to buy for Christmas this year is tailgate and Tall Boys tickets, right?
There you go.
Buy your family a Thanksgiving present too, and get some VIP or something. But we're going to market right away, and I think they've been doing a good job of marketing so far. They got a lot of videos out there, a lot of content, which is pretty cool.
So, and this will be the second of a 3-year commitment
Yep.
that the city of Clinton has made with this organization. So, when do you really have to kind of renew things?
So after this year, after the second year, the council and USA Concerts are both going to mutually have to say, yes, we want to go to a 3rd year per the contract. It's kind of built like a baseball contract.
Okay.
It was a 2-year guarantee with a 3rd year option.
Okay.
So both of us can say, yep, we want the 3rd year option. We're going to roll with it. If not, we may have to work something else out. But at that point is where we would want to, if we go to that 3rd year, then we would want to look on it beyond that. Like, what do we want to do? Is it a 1-year renewable thing? Is it a 2-year, 3-year? Is it a 5-year from there?
Yeah.
I know Wayne, the president of USA Concerts, wanted a 5-year to start. That's what he envisioned, because he knows year 1 is rough because you're getting your name out there. Year 2, you should be break even. Year 3, you should easily be making money. And then year 4 and 5, you're just kind of scaling, right? So that's kind of what they look at. So that's why he was looking at the 5. The 3 he was willing to do just because they really love our community. And it's exciting to see folks that are, from a couple hours away, that they took a chance on us. They brought their festival here, and I think they're like honorary Clintonians now. They come back all the time. They have a good time, and I think we'll definitely welcome them for years to come, hopefully, and bring this festival around.
Always great talking to you, Scott. Thanks so much. Hopefully, maybe you can get out and play some golf this afternoon.